À droite toute. À droite toute. En route 280
Voilà tous de l'Hermione. L'Hermione vient de quitter la Charente et arrive en mer. Et puis
Amazing how that transports you back in time. That was a clip of the replica 18th century warship Lafayette Hermione, and that's making the voyage from France to Maryland. Joining us today is Philip Niedermeyer from Whiteford Taylor and Preston, Ellen Von Carrion, and Hector Diaz, partners with the Friends of Lafayette Hermione 2015 voyage. We want to welcome all of you. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having us. It's a privilege to be here.
Now, I've pronounced it both ways because if you really want to be correct, right, it's Hermione.
It is Hermione. Yes.
Right. But Hermione is also okay, right?
Hermione gets resonance, and of course it's often confused with the Harry Potter character.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Now you have me totally confused. No, but I'm going to go with Hermione.
Hermione,
that's the correct
beautiful
pronunciation. Anyway, thank you all for being here. This is a really exciting voyage coming up for people to experience. Philip, let's start with you because it's interesting. You're in the legal circles, clearly, but we want to know what made you get involved with this.
Well, I'm fortunate enough to work at Whiteford Taylor Preston, where I'm the Managing Director of Strategic Alliances. And in that role, our firm seeks to serve the community. And we saw a wonderful opportunity to serve the people of Maryland by helping the Friends of Lafayette bring the Hermione to both Annapolis and Baltimore, where we bring a piece of living history to America, to Maryland, and be able to tell the story of the great ship Hermione, and more importantly, what that ship represents. The story of Lafayette and his amazing commitment to our nation's founding and the building of our nation.
And you talk about how that history has kind of been lost for a lot of people. Not many people know about it. Tell us, Ellen and Hector, what history we're all missing out on.
Well, I'm continually amazed that there are many people now who don't know who Lafayette was, that his memory and what he did for the founding of this nation and what he stood for. He's also, on many levels, such an inspiration. He was 19 years old when he first came here. His family motto was Cournon, or why not? Why not? Which is also sort of the motto behind this ship, which cost $40 million and took 20 years to build. Why not? So I think Hector can speak about the Spanish, but the French without the French involvement in the Revolutionary War, we'd not likely, we'd be calling everything Hermione. We'd all have British accents, perhaps.
Exactly. Yeah. And go ahead. Did you want to?
If you look at the history of what Lafayette contributed, before he even arrived in this country, because he was inspired by his interaction with Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson, he said, with the founding of America, liberty now has a country. And he said this before he even came to America. So he came here in 1777, contributed significantly in helping George Washington and the Continental Army, and then was sent back to France to petition the French king to provide additional support for the revolution. He accomplished that despite the fact that he was had been told by the French king not to come here. He had sort of banned his travel, and he left anyway. And then when he returned from America in 1779, he was then put under house arrest. So it's staggering he was able to accomplish this. The French king then relented, allowed him to petition him, and of course the French provided about 10,000 troops and a fleet of ships to support the Continental Army.
So that's a little background into the French involvement. Tell us more, Hector, about the Spanish involvement, and first tell us why you're dressed this way.
Indeed. Well, I am wearing the uniform of a Spanish artillery colonel. We'll be firing artillery that day when the Hermione arrives in the Baltimore harbor to receive it. That's an honor salute that was done back then. And we're here to stress that the Spanish alliance was also very important for the winning of the revolution. Now, Lafayette arrived in the Hermione on his second trip. On his first trip to America, he left from Spain because Spain was an ally of France. And it assisted in the revolution very much with all kinds of materials, weapons, supplies, everything, and in battle. the Spanish waged about 7 or 8 battles, and they won them all against the British, and that was very important. And we're here to stress that, to remind the United States that as we helped them during the Revolution, we're here today to help in receiving the Hermione, to remind everybody about everything that happened during the American Revolution.
So fascinating. Now, this voyage is going to make several stops, including the harbor here and also Annapolis. So tell us when it's going to be here and what that whole experience will be like for people.
So we have created an entire experience around the ship. The ship is currently in Mount Vernon. It will be in Alexandria, and then it's coming to Annapolis June 16th and 17th. It will be in Baltimore June 19th, 20th, and 21st. We have a reenactment village, and Ellen's worked very hard to get very enormous number of people and different groups involved, and she should speak of that. But both in Annapolis and Baltimore, we've created a whole village and community that's historically representative of the era around the Hermione, telling the story, telling their stories, both important stories about the Spanish and the involvement of African Americans. James Armistead, who was the servant of Lafayette and America's first spy. And when children hear the incredible, inspiring story of him and how he spied on Cornwallis, you just can't believe how much effect it has.
And you mentioned children. This is such a great opportunity to bring your kids and let them learn a little bit about this history.
It really is. There will also be the screening of a play on young Lafayette and his wife Adrienne, based on correspondence that the two wrote back and forth to each other. That will be showing at the Flag House at 3 o'clock on June 20th. And we have 3 jam-packed days of activities featuring the Fixed Regiment of Spanish Louisiana. I think we'll have some members of the DuPont. We'll have all sorts of reenactors and living history characters and lots and lots and lots of things.
People
Pride
have to
of
go
Baltimore
in
will
person
be there.
to
It'll
experience.
be great.
Yeah. Do you all have a website so people can get more information?
Absolutely. They can go to Hermione 2015,
Okay.
and they will be able to get all the information they need.
Great.
They should also know that if you look at this from the standpoint of Lafayette, when Lafayette returned to America 50 years later at the invitation of President Madison in 1824, he was such a rock star that he arrived in New York Harbor and 80,000 people turned up to welcome him back. New York only had a population of 120,000 people.
All right, so we expect 80,000 or more at this event, right?
At least.
Definitely.
At least.
Thank you all. Really great
Thank you very
learning
much.
about
Thank
this
you.
through you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely, my pleasure.